Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're unpacking something that, honestly, it reads like a cinematic script, but it's going to fundamentally shift your financial perspective. We're breaking down mastering the mechanics of modern wealth. I am absolutely stoked to guide you through this. If you've ever felt like you're just running on an endless treadmill when it comes to your finances, putting in way more effort but never actually getting ahead, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's dig into exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how we can change it.
I want you to ask yourself a pretty uncomfortable question right out of the gate. What if literally everything you know about wealth is completely wrong? It's a massive question, right? But just consider this. What if the rules you've been playing by your entire life are actually designed to keep you stuck exactly where you are? In this explainer, we're going to expose why your current financial mindset might be deeply flawed and look at how the source text reveals a totally different way to operate.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the wealth illusion. For generations, society has totally conditioned us to view wealth as this physical object that we have to chase down. Just think about the heavy, exhausting reality of that mindset for a second. It's that traditional cycle of manual labor. You trade your finite time and your physical energy for a set number of dollars. It's a never-ending pursuit, a real grind, where the finish line just magically keeps moving out of reach. But the source text argues, and quite powerfully actually, that this physical chase, it's merely an illusion. It's a trap, keeping us perpetually exhausted, distracted, and ultimately stuck in place.
Okay, let's dive into this, because here is where the paradigm completely shifts. Wealth is absolutely not a stack of cash or a physical object. As the text brilliantly defines it, modern wealth is actually a digital system of trust that requires strategic management. Boom. Think about that. That is a huge aha moment for us. We're moving from physically chasing to digitally managing. It's all about leveraging systems, understanding trust networks, and applying real strategy instead of just relying on brute force. When you stop seeing money as physical paper to grab and start seeing it as a digital network to manage, man, your entire world changes.
Moving right along to Section 2, salary versus capital growth.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict we're facing today. On one side, you've got the traditional path, working for a salary. You put in the hours, you get a paycheck. It's completely linear, and let's be honest, it's capped by the simple fact that we only have 24 hours in a day. But then, on the other side, you have the modern wealthy approach, making capital grow. This side is incredibly dynamic. Your resources are actually doing the heavy lifting for you, compounding and expanding even while you're fast asleep. The text highlights this massive contrast to show exactly how limiting that salary mindset really is compared to the boundless potential of capital growth.
So what does this all mean? The crucial point here is understanding what actually separates those two sides. Why do some people manage to cross over into capital growth while others stay trapped working for a salary? Well, the text explicitly points out the critical dividers, and, spoiler alert, it has absolutely zero to do with luck. No way. It comes down to two specific, learnable things: financial literacy and asset ownership. Financial literacy simply means knowing the rules of that digital system of trust we just talked about, and asset ownership means actually acquiring the vehicles that make your capital grow. These two things, they're literally the twin engines of modern wealth.
Which brings us to Section 3, Mastering Modern Mechanics.
Let's see how this builds into an actionable three-step plan taken straight from the source text. Step 1, stop outdated societal patterns. You really have to actively reject that old script of just work harder physically to get richer. You must recognize the illusion. Step 2, acquire high-value skills. Since modern wealth requires strategic management, you obviously need the specialized skills to actually do that managing effectively. And Step 3, master the underlying mechanics. You need to deeply understand how digital trust, capital growth, and asset ownership all interact to create real economic power. These 3 steps are basically your roadmap out of the traditional trap.
All of this complex theory essentially distills down into one powerful, undeniable truth. True prosperity isn't chased, it's managed. If you take away anything from this explainer today, please let it be this exact sentence. The moment you stop frantically running after physical wealth and instead sit down to strategically manage your assets, your skills, and your capital, well, that is the exact moment you invite true prosperity into your life. You absolutely have to master the underlying mechanics of the modern economy.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. I want you to apply this honestly to your own life right now. Are you chasing physical wealth, or are you mastering the mechanics of modern capital? Take a hard, objective look at your daily routine. Are you exhausting yourself in that manual labor trap, or are you acquiring the high-value skills needed to manage a digital system of trust?
It is time to shift your perspective, ditch those outdated patterns, and start making your capital grow. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this sparks a massive positive change in how you view and manage your financial future. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.